everyone, and welcome back. In the previous video that I did, I showed you how I made these packet pockets with a new digital kit and a freebie from my Ko-fi site. I just want to show you something with this before we move on to these, because now I'm going to show you in this video how I made these square tag pockets. Okay, so these were made with the freebie, so that you can see those. Right, and then I'm going to show you with some different papers in a minute, but back to this first. So I've made up this signature of papers, just very plain, nothing fancy, no other papers in here at all at the moment apart from these coffee, tea dyed and plain papers. So as you can see, nothing out of the ordinary included there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this packet pocket to this page here, and I'm going to scoot it down to the bottom of the page, not right the very bottom. I'm going to leave a tiny little bit of border and scooch it across right to the edge of the page. So I'll take this page out and then you'll be able to see better. I've got two options. One is my micropore that I like using, and I have done a video on this because at the time when I first mentioned micropore, I had a lot of people asking what it is. Surgical, God, I can't even speak, surgical tape in other countries, but the manufacturer's name is micropore in this instance. But I've also got my magic tape as well. So I'm going to add this one with the magic tape. So take it away from the page, add the tape on the edge, but not exceeding, I don't want it to extend beyond the top edge of this pocket here, so otherwise I won't be able to get access. Get my page back. Line it up against the edge of the page here, leave a little bit of a border at the bottom, and then just stick that tape down there. Flip it over and do the same on the other side so that it now forms a hinge. Clip off the excess, and that's all there is to it. So I'll just pop it back in my signature for now. And yes, the tape has gone on too. It's curled around the corner, but because it's the magic tape you can't see it. So that when I open it up, that will flip like that. So I've still got access to this page to do anything I want to on that page. Then I can flip it back, and I've got the pocket at the top to be able to utilise as well. So that's how I've added it to my page. Right, let's crack on with these tags. The two digital pages that I'm going to use for these tags are these two. So we've got this one here and this one here. Okay, so this is going to be the easiest one to do because I can already see where I'm going to chop up the pattern of the paper. So let's get that done, and I'll trim off the excess white edges as well. So I'll just show you where I'm going to chop. So the first chop is going to be sort of along the edge here of that frame. So that's number one. I'm going to chop against the edge of that frame again. So that's number 2. And then I'm going to use this line here to chop up there, which gives me now 2 thin tags. Now I could leave them as square top tags, but I'm actually going to angle these off just like we expect normal tags to be. I've got a piece of plastic here, you know, an old plastic card, credit card or whatever, membership card, and I've cut 2 angles off each side. So I've got a long slope and a short slope, and I can use those as my guide. So if you're not particularly good at just cutting these off freehand, then you can just use one of these as your guide. So that's that one. This one, if I do it freehand and I just chop it off, I can flip that piece over to the other side, and then I've got the same angle. Just got to mind that you don't chop your nails doing this one. Okay, so those have now got both the same angles. This one I'm going to do a long one. Flip it over and do the same on the other side. And the same on this one. Flip it over. So there's my 4 tags ready to go. What I might do with this particular one is I might just chop off that bottom bit there because it looks a little bit out of place. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go off and go and ink all the edges of these up. I don't think you need to watch me doing that, do you? So I'll see you back here in a minute. From this sheet, I'm only going to make 1 tag from it because I want to do something specific with this particular design. So I've cut off an area from here, and I've cut right halfway through the middle of the bottle. And then I've cut off this pink side over here because that is going to be a pocket on top of this part of the tag. I've already done that, so I'll go and get those pieces. So you can see what I mean by I've cut halfway through the bottle here, and I've cut off this little pink piece down from the other corner. Now I've left the white edges on purpose, okay, because I want to add this as a pocket to the front of this piece of paper here, and the white bit I'm going to fold around the back, and I'm going to fold around the back of this, and I'm going to fold this excess around the back of that. So I made sure that it was definitely wider than this piece of paper. So let me just position this so I can see what I'm actually doing. So I want that about there. I just want to check on the front that I've got it right. Yeah. Okay. So let's fold up that bottom edge first. And I'm folding it butt up against the edge of that piece of paper. And then opening it back out, spinning it round carefully, and then folding this edge over to the back. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to take it off. Open it all back out. And I'm going to trim away these corners down here by tapering that middle section that I folded over, spinning it, and just tapering that edge there of this little fold. I don't need to worry about the top bit because it's all going around the back, but this also helps to get rid of a bit of the bulk at the bottom as well. Oops, ripped that, don't matter. going round the back. Okay, make sure I've got those flowers at the top. Position that. Okay, put glue on this, as if the glue wants to play, because sometimes it doesn't want to play. There we go. So I'm going to fold that edge over. And now I'm going to fold this bottom edge up, glue that down. And then this other side edge. So that I've now got this lovely little pocket on the front, and because it's got the same roses on it, it now sort of all blends together. I've also inked up around all the edges of all of these pieces. So now I need to decide how I'm going to back them. Now you could use any scrap pieces of paper or plain pieces of card. I've got all these background pages on my computer, some of which I'm going to make into another digital kit very soon, so that you can have access to some of these papers as well. So looking at the papers that I've got, I liked this black one for this, and it's got this lovely little sort of border around it at the top. So I thought about adding that on there because I want a part of this showing through at the front. Okay, so I'm going to use that one, methinks, and then for the rest of them, not that one, not that one, possibly that one. That one might possibly work. I don't think the green would work. That one might work. Not that one. That one might work. No. A little bit too insipid. That one might work. Not the green. I decided I didn't like the green. Mind you, I'm saying that. No, too clashy. And this is all down to personal preference, not the blue. The blue is not going to work. No. Okay, and now I'm going to make all of these in the same way. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to put these off to the side, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to make these with this particular one and this background. All right, so I'm going to get myself set up. I'll be back in a second. I've trimmed off the white edges. I haven't done it off the bottom because there was no need to. So I've trimmed off the white edges, and I'm going to glue this onto this paper. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it around 1, 2, 3 sides. So then I've got an opening here, so I've got another pocket area there, which is a bit secret. So make sure I remember which 3 sides I want to glue it on, because I've done that before now. Stuck it on and gone, yeah, bother. Except I didn't use the word bother. I'm more human than this. I swore profusely. As I say, I am just a normal human being. It's frustrating when you do that though, and you're like, no. All right, so that's going to go on there. Now, I haven't measured anything. I'm going by the pattern at the top and at the bottom. And I know that this has gone beyond the centre point, but that's okay, because I'm okay with that. And now, I can fold this where I need to. So I need to leave a bit of a border on this side that's sort of equal to this side up here. So let me just bring it a bit closer because I need to see. So otherwise I'm going to mux it up. Okay, so about like that. Okay. And then on the back, I've got sort of a half pocket here on the back. All right, this is empty white space. Now I could see about covering it over maybe with the paper at the bottom. We'll see in a moment. And then I'm just going to use my eye to cover, or to cut, sorry, the piece at the bottom. Might trim off a little bit of that black at the top as well. Okay, so I could leave this that it opens up, but I want to make it into a bit of a tag. I could trim off the corners here, and then on this side I could just glue it at the bottom so it now becomes a bit of a tuck spot, or I could glue it along the top and the bottom so it now forms another pocket. Let me just check. Oh, too short. So I probably would cover this over with another paper. So I'm not going to glue this down for now because I'm going to chop another piece of paper just to cover this background edge up here. And I think that I might actually, do I want, no, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it as a square tag. So now I've got this pocket here, a pocket here. And when you flip it over, there'll be a pocket on the back as well. Right, but I think that that looks really quite stunning, even if I say so myself. So I'm going to do the exact same process with these tags. Right, so I'm going to glue them to a piece of paper that I decide to choose, and then I'm going to fold them so that they've got this pocket on the back of them. So I'll go off and go and do that. See you again in a minute. Okay, so I've attached all the tags to my pieces of paper, and I'm just going to show you how I did this one. So I've got this one open as a pocket on the side here, and then I'm just going to fold it over. Now I could use my score pal again, but me being me, I'm not doing that. Alright, so as you can see, this piece of paper at the back here extends beyond. So again, could use my score pal, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna fold that edge over. And glue it down. And then I'm going to put glue, just check, yep, I'm all right with that. Put glue top and bottom. This folded edge now gives the side of this pocket that little bit of extra strength. It saves me cutting it off. Fold that over. Turn it to the front, just check to see if there's any overhang. There isn't. Okay, so we're going to chop off these corners, following the line of the tag itself. And there we have it. So it's got a pocket there, and it's got the pocket on the back. So that's what these now look like. They're all exactly the same. I've done them all in the same way so that they've got the pocket and the pocket on the back. And then I'm just going to quickly decorate them up with some of the clusters that I made. So I think maybe that one on there, that one on there, and then these from the Tim Holtz photograph strips, and I just cut them down so that they will then be stuck on there, and that's how those tags are going to turn out. So that's me done. Just to show you some of the things that you can actually do again with some of the collage papers. I'll put some pictures up at the end to show you what the completed things look like, with tabs on the top and maybe some sari ribbon and all that sort of thing. So you'll see what they look like completed right at the very end. Thanks again for joining me. I'm going to do one more video showing you what you can do with the collage sheets, and I'll speak to you really soon. Thanks ever so much for joining me, and bye for now.